welcome back to my YouTube channel, Do Me and Lovely Things. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and of course leave your comments down in the comment section below. I absolutely love to hear from you. Thank you so much for picking my face and my thumbnail and this topic. We're gonna break down what's happened in the Zondo Commission this week. So some of you might have been roaming around in the Twitter streets and seen Kwinana. Thank you for remembering. This week, the Zondo Commission was questioning Ms Kwinana. I'll put her full name down here, as well as Dudu Myeni. Let's start with Ms Kwinana because wow. So Ms Kwinana comes to the Zondo Commission. Oh, I feel like she's leadership, eh? Like, I have never in my life seen someone stick to their guns knowing that what they are saying is going to the left, but just stick to it, like sticking to it. So Ms Kwinana was questioned. She was a board member of SAA. Ne? So I don't know if you guys saw the clips that have been going around on social media where Judge Zondo is like, Ms Kwinana, you are a chartered accountant. So Ms Kwinana has a BCom degree from the University of Zululand, I think. No, I'm lying. Yeah, she has a BCom degree from UNISA that she obtained in 1999, and she's a member of the South African Institute of Chartered Accountants, as well as the Institute of Internal Auditors. I think that's what it is. So she's a member of those two bodies, and she was a board member of SAA. I don't remember the exact dates, but I think it's between 2012 and 2017, somewhere between then. She was a full board member for SAA. So most of the questions that she was faced with were surrounding the decisions that she was part of for SAA. There were questions about when non-board members came to the board members' meetings, where she wouldn't question why is the non-board member there. And she was like, no, it would be possible that they would be there to assist someone, but for me, they were really not useful, right? Then there was a question about that non-board, I can't remember his name, I'll find it and I'll put it here. That non-executive board member or that non-board member was at the board meeting, and he was actually a lawyer, but he wasn't getting, he got paid. So all of this is alleged, ne? Allegedly, this man was being paid by SAA, but Ms Kwinana herself did not know what the services of this man was, because SAA had a whole legal team. So why would they need the services of an additional lawyer and pay that person while they have a legal team? All of this again is alleged. Ms Kwinana could not answer that question. Ms Kwinana, apparently there was a tender that was out, and one of the people who were, lobbying for the tender, or who had applied for the tender, took Ms Kwinana, one of the companies took Ms Kwinana to their head office in America, and they were paying for her dinners, they paid for accommodation, they paid for her trip, allegedly. And she was asked, like, doesn't this seem inappropriate to her? And her answer was, no, it's not inappropriate, because whoever who could have been watching us or seeing us engaging in those things did not know what we were talking about. So she was like, so basically, Ms Kwinana was on the board of SAA, and there was a tender that SAA put out, and then these people applied for that tender, and then they took Ms Kwinana to America. You understand? So the judge was asked her a hypothetical question, where he said, okay, so do you think if there's a tender that's going on and you are the decision maker for the tender, or one of the decision makers for the tender, and there's a person who is an applicant of the tender, and that person takes you out for lunch, and another applicant of the tender sees you out for lunch, do you think that situation is appropriate or is allowed? And then she says, yes, it's allowed because the other person watching us wouldn't know what we are talking about. Yeah, of course. They're not going to know what you're talking about. That's why it's inappropriate. And then she's like, it should be allowed as long as we don't talk about the tender. So, but the judge and the lawyer who was asking the questions, who I found very rude at times, to be honest. Linda, if it was me, I would have gone really irritated with just her demeanor. I didn't like that. But him. So they had that. So the judge, they had that back and forth where they were talking about, is that appropriate behavior? And then she was like, no, it would be fine if they don't talk about the tender. How is anyone going to know that they didn't talk about the tender? Like, so that is why Judge Raymond Zondo was like, Ms Kwinana, you are a chartered accountant. He finished me. He said, I really feel like there needs to be some laws that better manage this whole thing of how does a person become a member of the board. Because you kind of have people as members of the board who don't see that basic principle that it's inappropriate to go out to lunch or to go on a special trip with a person who's applying for a tender that you are going to be the ultimate decider of. Like, that's inappropriate because it leaves room for there to be like a perception, you know, you're going to favor this person over other people. So her argument was that person ended up not even getting a tender. However, there was a special contract that after that special trip existed between that applicant and SAA. So a person looking could say that that special contract, they did it only because, you know, they wined and dined them and excited them in a particular way. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it was just a comedy of a joke. It was Bird. And she would always answer the question so softly. You could hardly hear what she's saying and look away. And she doesn't answer the question that's asked. Like, if they were to ask Kore, do you think it's fair for you to have a relationship with a person who is not, who is in direct competition with you? And then she would say, no, because I wasn't personally in that relationship with that person, and whomever was in that relationship needs to go. Like, she wouldn't answer the question that was asked. Basically, like, I'll put in an example here.
Not the whole contract. The whole contract would have the whole lot of
Ms Kwinana,
the price and everything.
Ms Kwinana,
and then the terms of conditions.
Ms Kwinana, you are a chartered accountant. You are a chartered accountant. You have said you approved this contract. Initially, you said you didn't know about this contract. You were shown a resolution. You accept that you approved the contract. Now, what are you saying? You say you don't know the contract. You know the terms and conditions.
I'm saying, Chair, my knowledge of the contract.
Sorry?
I'm saying, Chair, my knowledge.
The whole thing was just so difficult to watch because you could just tell, like, she keeps digging a hole deeper and deeper for herself. And Judge Raymond Zondo was always saying to her, okay, you know, when I review the people who offered testimony here, I'm gonna consider some of these things. That was a witness hostile, was a witness responsive. Like, she was just difficult, bruh. Like, she was just a difficult witness. I felt it made me really uncomfortable. I want to put a whole collage of just how annoyable she was really annoying, like, and she didn't help herself. Ms Dudu Myeni, on the other hand, first of all, Ms Dudu Myeni has 2 lawyers helping her. Oh, I forgot about Ms Kwinana. Ms Kwinana, they had this lawyer there, but Judge Raymond Zondo seemed to have, like, I don't want to say that it was like a prejudice against that lawyer, but they really didn't have good interactions with one another. It was very standoffish from the beginning to the end. It was very standoffish. So I'm not sure. I'm not saying that he was prejudiced against her. That's not what I'm saying. Judge Raymond Zondo, you're a judge. Don't please. I'm not a lawyer. or a legal person, and I don't have money to get one. I have money for like taking care of my life, but I don't have like lawyer money. Please don't sue me or come for me. I'm just saying it seemed very like, you know, like their interactions were very no, sit down, you'll get your 10. But with the two lawyers of Dudu Myeni, Judge Raymond Zondo was much more receptive. Even with Dudu Myeni herself, with the stuff that she was saying, he was much more receptive. So here's the backstory with what's happening with Dudu Myeni. Dudu Myeni, there is a court ruling that declared her a delinquent director of SAA. And that court ruling, they are appealing currently. So her position with regards to every question that is asked about SAA, and I think there's another company, Sentech or Sen something, every answer, every question that's asked with relation to those things, her answer is that she refuses to answer because she doesn't want to prejudice herself. Okay, so that is what she's saying. So she did say that she doesn't want to use the word refuse to answer. She just says that she'd prefer not to answer and invoke her right not to self-incriminate. That, first of all, is very telling, because what are you self-incriminating yourself? Like, it's like admitting guilt. Well, in my very unlearned opinion, when you say, I don't want to answer that question for fear that I may self-incriminate myself, says to me that there's something that you could incriminate yourself with in that answer. And I don't really know, if you didn't do anything wrong, then how, why, where? But at the same time, just to balance that out, if there is a ruling against you saying that you are a delinquent director, then, and you are taking that up on appeal, then anything you say, even if it's not necessarily going to incriminate you, can be used to further establish this ruling that you are delinquent. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to be really careful. So I get her stance in the sense that, you know, she has to be really careful what she says, because there's a pending court case that, you know, might not work out in her favor. At the same time, the attorney was saying, her argument is that can't be your stance. You can't say because you're scared of an existing appeal that you're not going to answer the questions. If you're saying you're scared that whatever you might say might get you arrested, that's something different from saying I'm scared that whatever I say is gonna jeopardize my appeal. Lantolamar. So that's what's happening with Dudu Myeni and the Zondo Commission. So every question about SAA, I didn't really pay attention today because, like I said, work is bumping me by the scrotum. Work is saying yes to me right now. So I didn't really catch what happened today in the Zondo Commission, but I will catch up tonight as I catch up with Utana Nestembu, and then I will definitely give you guys an update on what happened today. So that's what's up with the Zondo Commission this week. Hopefully I'll be able to do updates of what happened in the Zondo Commission weekly, and any other court case of Bushiri or Mr. Omotoso or any other interesting newsworthy court cases that are happening. Anyway, that's it. That's all I have for you today, Bumalavo. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and of course leave your comments down in the comment section below. I absolutely love to hear from you. You guys are the best. And guys, I just watched what happened in the State Capture Zondo Commission this afternoon. Dudu Myeni just exposed the secret identity of Mr. X. Why? So, you know, Mr. Zondo is so disappointed. Chief Justice Zondo is so disappointed, and he's actually put a court order that no one who heard or saw what Dudu Myeni said should publicize the name of Mr. I'm even afraid to say Mr. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bleep out wherever she said Mr's name. My God. Why you go and do that, my old lady? Why you gotta go and do that? Anyway, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. She even says, like, she doesn't know why she says it. She said his name, his real name. She was feeling a lot of emotions like betrayal.
Mentioned him again. It will be out of, first maybe out of, I don't know. I did not hear myself whether I said his name or not. One, it was disbelief. Two, it was an emotion that came with it, and feeling betrayed. I apologize, but if I've said it again, it's really something that I've not. I think my mind is not into it. I apologize.
Oh. Ma'am, are you trying to get this man injured? I'm not saying that this is the case. I'm asking a question. Like, what you trying to do? What you trying, ma'am? What you trying to do? What you trying to do, ma'am? How you just gonna? No, this is Bird. First of all, Raymond Zondo put an order that this must not be done. And the way she did it, like she took her time. You know, it didn't just... She took her time. And... Anyway, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and leave your comments down below. The saga continues. Zondo Commission.